Despite becoming a full-blown hero, Vegeta's still, shall we say, rough around the edges.
Sorry, Vegeta, but it's true.
He acts like a bad guy in a lot of ways, but he still has his good guy moments, and in those moments, he's shown he can be pretty chill. Nice, even. So we're gonna be counting down the times that Vegeta was actually a good person, be it before or after he became a hero. But before we get into Vegeta's best good guy moments, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to get updates on all the latest Dragon Ball videos from CBR. Selfless sacrifice. Early in the Buu saga, Vegeta fell victim to Babidi's mental manipulation, becoming a Majin under his control. With this act, Vegeta was once again the ruthless, evil man he once prided himself on being, explicitly stating that he let Babidi control him so he could return to his old ways, unlock the power that came with his Majin status, and use said power to challenge Goku to an all-out brawl. Jeez, Vegeta, get over it already. So far, none of that sounds heroic or good-willed at all, but Vegeta eventually had a change of heart. Upon realizing how powerful and dangerous Buu really was, Vegeta committed perhaps the greatest act of all time. He sacrificed himself for the sake of others. But before doing so, Vegeta took it upon himself to show his son how much he meant to him, holding Trunks in his arms for the first time since his infancy. After telling Trunks that he was proud of him, he knocked him out and made sure he and Goten were kept far away from his final explosion, a self-destruction attack utilizing all of his energy, which still barely managed to slow Buu down. Even if his sacrifice was in vain, this moment still stands as Vegeta's most selfless act, his final moment giving all Dragon Ball fans the feelings as he said goodbye to Bulma, Trunks, and yes, even Goku. Helped Gohan and Krillin. Prior to actually fighting on the side of the Angels, Vegeta had a few redeeming moments that showed his promise as an eventual good guy. One of these moments came in the Namek saga of Dragon Ball Z, during which the Prince of the Saiyans helped out Goku, Gohan, and Krillin. After his fight with Captain Ginyu, Goku was seriously injured and in need of healing. Vegeta brought his former enemy into Frieza's ship so he could use the healing chamber and recover from his wounds. This was more or less part of Vegeta's deal with Krillin and Gohan, who realized their best bet to beat Frieza and save everyone was to get the Namekian Dragon Balls and wish for Vegeta's immortality. In order to help this plan succeed, the three joined forces, working together to get the Dragon Balls from Frieza and his minions. Though it wasn't out of the kindness of his heart or anything, this also led to Vegeta giving Gohan and Krillin armor similar to his own, boosting their defense and giving them a better chance of surviving the trials to come. Again, all these acts weren't enough to redeem his actions up until then, but helping Goku heal and giving Krillin and Gohan armor were some of his kinder moments in the Namek and Frieza sagas. We're starting to see the heart. Oh yeah, there's a heart in there. Kept his promise. After experiencing humiliation and being surpassed by both Goku and the very young Gohan during the Cell Saga, Vegeta vowed to never fight again, leading him to become closer with his family by the time of the Buu Saga. However, he didn't quite give up on training, and the prospect of fighting against Goku in the upcoming World Martial Arts Tournament only spurred him to get stronger. Trunks also wanted to get in on the tournament, so he trained alongside his dad in the Gravity Room, leading Vegeta to challenge him to a sparring match. Vegeta promised his son that if he could get a hit on him, he'd take him to an amusement park, and he actually managed to do it, angering Vegeta enough to retaliate with a face punch. To cheer up Trunks, Vegeta affirmed that he had earned his trip to the amusement park, a promise that he fulfilled later in Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, sort of. Though he doesn't actually take Trunks to the amusement park, he does agree to go on a family vacation. Vegeta acts like a Grumposaurus Rex throughout the whole trip, and even leaves early after being frustrated by a luau. But at least he tried to have a good time with his family, which is more than we can say for the likes of Goku. Yeah, listen up, Goku. Trained Cabba. Another moment from Dragon Ball Super showcasing Vegeta's nice side came from the Universe 6 saga, in which he met Cabba, a Saiyan from an alternate universe where the Saiyan race was still alive and thriving as warriors of peace. When it came time for the two to face each other, Cabba asked Vegeta to teach him how to turn Super Saiyan, and he responded in a very interesting way. The Prince of the Saiyans was infuriated by the extreme lack of pride that Cabba showed in asking him for a Super Saiyan lesson in the middle of a match. Vegeta then proceeded to power up to Super Saiyan and punch Cabba right in the gut, continuing to beat him up mercilessly. But what just seemed like Vegeta kicking the snot out of a lower level opponent turned out to actually be what Cabba was asking for, a lesson in going Super Saiyan. On top of kicking Cabba's butt, Vegeta also belittled the Universe 6 Saiyan for attempting to give up, throwing in insults and threats to his family and planet. In doing so, Cabba gained the anger he needed to go Super Saiyan for the first time. Vegeta then revealed the reasons behind his actions and words. They were meant to help push Cabba to the next level, a kind act from one Saiyan to another. But Goku is better. Perhaps one of Vegeta's greatest character moments came in the final chapters of the Buu saga, in which he admitted to himself that Goku was indeed the better fighter, and though he'd eventually drop this attitude and continue his pursuit to surpass his rival in Dragon Ball Super, this internal monologue is one of the best parts of Dragon Ball Z. Ever since Goku beat him in the Saiyan saga, Vegeta has been obsessed with surpassing him, a goal that became even more intense when Goku became the first Super Saiyan to emerge in over 100 years. But time and time again, Goku surpassed Vegeta, getting stronger and stronger as the gap between their power refused to get any smaller. As obsessed as Vegeta became, he eventually let it go, even if it was temporary, as Goku faced off against Kid Buu in the final episodes of Dragon Ball Z. During the fight, Vegeta looked back on his rivalry and friendship with Goku, internally admitting all the things he admired about his rival's power and how it increased because he challenged himself and fought for others. At the end of the internal monologue, Vegeta admits that Goku is number one, a gesture that, if said out loud, would be huge for the character, but we'll take what we can get with someone as stubborn as Vegeta. Bulma's birthday. Vegeta is pretty stubborn, there's no denying that, and there's pretty much nothing he'd rather do than train, which is why it was so hard for Bulma to get him to come to her birthday party. But the stubborn prince did manage to make an appearance, a feat that's somewhat worthy of praise on its own. However, what's more important about Vegeta's appearance at Bulma's birthday is that he was there to cater to Beerus and prevent him from destroying the planet. Vegeta's stubbornness, though monumental, pales in comparison to his pride, which is what makes his actions at Bulma's birthday party, both in the Battle of the Gods and Dragon Ball Super adaptation of it, rather heroic and noble for the character. Vegeta does a lot to maintain his appearance of pride and strength, but all that went out the window when it came to pleasing Beerus and making sure his wrath didn't destroy the planet. Some examples of this are when he made takoyaki for the god of destruction in a full chef getup, and when he performed his infamous bingo song from Battle of the Gods. But as humiliating as Vegeta's figurative and literal song and dance was, it was still for a good cause, and it showed how much Vegeta cared about preserving the planet and the people he cares for. And Vegeta's heart grew 3 sizes that day. Promise to resurrect Cabba. Training Cabba to go Super Saiyan wasn't the last thing that Vegeta would do to help out the Universe 6 Saiyan. He also made a promise to Cabba and his universe during the Universal Survival Saga. After their match in the Universe 6 tournament, Cabba thanked Vegeta for his training, stating that he reminded him of the Saiyan King of Universe 6. Then he offered to introduce Vegeta to his king and show him planet Sadala, which was destroyed in Universe 7. Vegeta thanked him for the offer, but would soon come to find that it might not be possible for it to happen, since the Tournament of Power would eliminate one or both of their universes. However, when Cabba approached Vegeta about this tournament, he stated his plan for the Super Dragon Balls was to wish for the Universe 6 Saiyans to be returned after being erased by Zeno. This was a pretty generous potential use of a Super Dragon Ball's wish, but in typical Vegeta fashion, it also offered in a rather aggressive tone. Despite this, Cabba accepts the proposal and counters with his own offer to do the same if he wins, to which Vegeta berates him for being so cocky as to believe he could beat him. It was a touching moment between the two Saiyans, even though neither characters ended up winning. Trained Trunks. As shown in his match with Cabba, Vegeta's training style is a bit abrasive, but that doesn't mean he doesn't care. In fact, it's rare for Vegeta to train anybody, so those he does choose to train, even if it's in a very aggressive and dismissive fashion, could be considered people he respects, admires, or otherwise cares about. One such example of this is the future version of his son, Trunks, who made his long-awaited return in Dragon Ball Super. In an attempt to toughen up his son for the upcoming fight with Goku Black, Vegeta sparred with him, taking things a bit too far as he dominated him with his Super Saiyan Blue power. Trunks was satisfied to take the beating, however, since he knew his father's new Super Saiyan transformation would be enough to defeat Goku Black, so he gave up, content that his power didn't matter anymore. However, that's when Vegeta really gave it to his son, saying he needed to toughen up for whatever challenge comes next, leading him to berate Trunks for casting aside his Saiyan blood and the pride that came with it. It was a bit harsh, but it actually got through to Trunks, who ended up thanking Vegeta for the so-called training session. With Trunks' thankfulness, we can count this as one of Vegeta's finer moments. Stayed for his child. Vegeta likes to come off like he's not a big softie, but deep down we know he is. One of the best examples showcasing just how far Vegeta has come as a person came in the early episodes of the Universal Survival Saga. As Goku scrambled to find combatants to compete in the Zen exhibition match, he is, of course, quick to ask Vegeta, who surprisingly refuses to join in on the fight. While Vegeta would normally jump at the chance to fight powerful opponents, he turned down the offer because Bulma was pregnant and nearly due. Goku wondered what that had to do with anything, to which Vegeta replied that he was going to stay by her side, a huge step from his absent father days of the Cell Saga. Thus, Goku goes with Gohan and Buu as his choices, but he approaches Vegeta again when it comes time for the main event, the Tournament of Power. Once again, Vegeta turns down the offer due to his second child's imminent birth. To reiterate, this is a huge gesture on Vegeta's part. Even if Whis eventually found a solution to let Vegeta compete. Regardless, it was still nice to see that Vegeta cared enough about not missing his second child's birth to forego fighting in a massive battle royale. Fused with Goku. It's hard to overstate just how much Vegeta's pride as a warrior means to him, and the same can be said of his desire to surpass Goku. Because of these two aspects of his character, his fusion with Goku in the Buu saga is actually one of the most interesting character moments, one that showed just how far he's grown as a character. How so? Well, let's break it down. Vegeta wanted nothing more than to become a warrior stronger than Goku, and the Potara fusion would give him that. Unfortunately, it would come at the cost of combining his power with the very person he sought to surpass. On top of that, combining power to defeat an opponent would be a dishonorable and unsaiyan way to fight, all of which factor into Vegeta's hesitance to accept the Potara and fuse with Goku. But Vegeta eventually agreed after Goku's speech to him, and this decision to swallow his precious Saiyan pride and combine with his rival is very important to his character, because it was a decision he made based on saving Earth and his family. It showed that he truly cared about Trunks and Bulma, and that he had finally begun to think of Earth as his home. Vegeta made a tough decision, but in the end, it showed how good of a person he had become in his time on Earth. So what did you think? Were these some of Vegeta's greatest good guy moments? Do you think they showed how good Vegeta is deep down? Did we leave anything out? Let us know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more Dragon Ball videos like this one. Thanks for watching.